Morning guys, just doing a Path of Exile video. You guys really gave me some great feedback and some views on the last videos, and I decided I'm going to make a few more Path of Exile videos. People seem to like the is something topic, so is Flame Blast worth it, is Empower worth it, is Hardcore worth playing. Today I wanted to talk about, is Path of Exile a skilled game? Is it hard to play? The reason I was sort of led in bed last night after playing League, and I was like, why have I started playing League of Legends, StarCraft, and other games a little bit more than Path of Exile recently? And for me personally, anybody that's ever followed the games I play or the sort of, the things I do on games, I've always had that thing in me where the game has to be mechanical. The game has to be mechanical, and what I mean by that is like hard to play, sort of quote physically, because without it, it loses something for me. It becomes mundane quickly. Now, is Path of Exile a skilled game? There are things like this, right, that have no skill. I've just bought some fuses to try 6-link. If we click here and we spam click all these fuses, is this skilled? No, right? There's absolutely no skill to this. Is there skill in 6-linking an item? Bang. Like that. How many fuses was that? I don't even know. I just bought 500 fuses, right? Did not expect it to go that well. We've still got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400. We used about 50 fuses and we've just got our 6-link, alright? This was not something I was expecting. I just signed in just randomly to make this video. Now, is that skilled? Is that skilled? No, but it does give you a great satisfaction in actually, getting the item that you're looking for. Now, next thing, I've got to try get 2 reds, 3 blues. That's going to be really tough to get. But is that skilled? Not really, but when I hit it, will I have enjoyed doing it? Yeah, of course I will. So, you've got to ask the question, what do you enjoy personally? To me, this game is RNG Vegas Lounge. This is what we joke about. This is you sign in, and it's a gambling tool to a lot of people. Now, some people will play it because they want to reach a high-end boss. Some people will play it because they want to reach a high level in the game. For me, I play the game as a journey. The game to me isn't skillful. People will go, it is skillful, it's really hard to play. In my opinion, the game isn't hard to play. It's actually rather simple to play. However, the knowledge that is required to play the game correctly or efficiently is hard to learn. Now, does that make a hard game? No, I just believe that the tools in the game aren't equipped to sort of convey players and teach them how to learn well and teach them how to play efficiently and correctly. I think that one of the hardest things about this game is the gate that it puts in front of you to bypass and get into all the crafting, the mapping, the high-end mapping, the bosses, the little bits and bobs that make this game great. It's quite hard to get into because you're always gated by knowledge, and knowledge is quite hard to get in this game. Knowledge is only really possible through learning and spending time learning or putting in the hours. Now, are those two things hard? No. It's not really hard to craft an item. As you've just seen, it's not really hard to 6-link an item. It's pure RNG. But that still means it's fun, right? It still means it's fun. It's a good time sink, and I enjoy playing it. But would I call it a skillful game? No. For me, I don't think the boss fights in this game are very mechanical. I think that once you've learnt a boss fight, they tend to just become a little bit, a little bit mundane. Shaper Fight's great. Shaper Fight's absolutely fantastic. But basically, if you have the damage, you don't really have to do any of the dodging of the balls, any crazy fights, any dipping and weaving and dodging. It's very much slam, dodge the slam, DPS. Slam, dodge the slam, DPS. The beam, even if you get clipped by it as CI, you won't die, right? So for me, it's It's very hard to, you know, sort of get behind PoE and call it a skilled game. People I've read on Reddit and all types of things say, I'm just going to try Chrome this whilst we wait, we'll go to Varici. People try to say all kinds of things that it's very hard to play mechanically. But for me, I've played StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, Legacy of the Void, League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike. These are all, to me, much more mechanical games, much harder games than Path of Exile. It doesn't mean I enjoy them anymore. As you can see, I play a load of Path of Exile, but would I... Ooh, I think I needed 2 blues. Damn. Did I need 2 blues? What colours did I need? Anyway, so, it doesn't mean that because a game isn't hard that it's a bad game, but also I think people need to understand that being a tougher game, mechanically, brings a lot to the table. League of Legends, for me, you sign in and you get sort of quickly, I would say, it becomes very monotonous. You're doing the same things. You're dealing with bad teammates. You're dealing with flaming teammates. You're dealing with the same map over and over and over again. But it doesn't get boring because all of the pieces, the people, the maps, all this type of thing, they move. It's basically online chess. Things move around and it stays fresh because you might be playing the same character over and over and over again, but things are changing. In Path of Exile, for me, the reason I play a little bit less now is because every map's the same. Monsters sort of just, walk around. They don't really do much. They don't try and attack you. You don't have to think about how you play against the map. My Flame Blast totem character, I just walk around and I place 2 totems down and that's it. I can't do anything else. It's not a mechanical build. This build is kind of mechanical, that you have to press pots, you have to Whirling Blade, you have to keep your Blood Rage up, you charge up to 6 stacks, let go. It's a little bit more mechanical, but it's not on the scale of StarCraft 2. It's not on the scale of Dota or League of Legends. And that, for a lot of people, puts them off. A lot of people can't handle the grind. The grind is fun as a character progression for me. I think PoE is best at short bursts of intensity. So if I play Path of Exile for 1.5 months, I can create a character, I can take him on this journey from being level none to level whatever, I can get him geared up, I can get the 6 link like we just got, I can chrome it, I can get all the gems leveled, I can find gear, and I can make him tackle a boss that I know how the fight works. It's not going to change. Uber at GGZII doesn't change, it's the same thing every single time. It doesn't randomize the room order. You don't go in first and have to kill at GGZII, and then you have to kill the Vals and then the trio to complete and get the drop. It doesn't randomize. It's always the same thing. So pretty much if your build can do it, you'll do it with practice. There's no real outplay potential in Path of Exile, in my opinion. Sure, you can press all the pots. You can maybe log out of a situation. You could Val Discipline a slam, but there's not really that much outplay potential, and that's where the game can become stale. Because right now, what am I signing in for? If I go to do a map right now and I go to play a map, what exactly am I signing in for? We can put in Melee Fizz, we can put in Weapon Elemental, I think we've got AoE, Blade Flurry. I can't even remember the other gems I was going to use for this build. I don't even know what I was using. We'll just stick on a 4 link for now. I can't remember what I was using. I wonder what gems I was using. Faster attacks. And increased crit strikes, maybe. Was that what I was using? Controlled destruction. I really can't remember what I was using for this 6 link that we wanted. It's been that long since I've played. Was it a blue? Was it another green? For now, we'll just roll on this 5 link and we'll remember what we had to do. So for me, when I go into a map of Path of Exile, it becomes a little bit tedious because, well, nothing really changes about the game. That is why it becomes stale. It becomes tough to grind for some people, and a lot of people just don't really have it in them to relentlessly play the same things for RNG. Now the game just crashed. Alright, the game just crashed. Maybe that's a sign that we shouldn't be playing. But I enjoy Path of Exile, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to bash on Path of Exile. I'm just trying to explain my thoughts and opinions of why have I been playing League of Legends recently. Because even though it's the same character, like in PoE right now, this is the same character. Everything changes each game. I might get really fed top lane and then have to do a really intense Baron steal. I might have to play around defeating bot lane. It keeps crashing. Come on now, Path of Exile. I might have to play around and feed in bot lane. We'll go full camera and we'll just deal with this. You know, I might have to go play around and feed in bot lane. I might have to help an invade. I might have to support a mid lane and counter gank. I might have to in Dota use the courier and sniper courier. There are whole different things. Whereas in Path of Exile, when you load in, it is not a mechanical game in my opinion. For me, you load in, you have your build. And every map is the same. You do the same thing no matter what map you're on. Maybe if it's a reflect map, you sit a little bit further back. But you do the same things, just slower. So that is where Path of Exile, after a grind, after you've played for 2.5 months, it becomes tedious because you're always doing the same thing. And for me, it doesn't satisfy me mechanically. Now, I don't know about you guys. If you guys could leave in the comments below how you feel about Path of Exile. But for me, it's a great game. It's a great game in short, intense bursts that you play for like a month and a half. You absolutely bash the game for this whole duration. And then after about a month and a half, you've got a couple of characters. You've got some wealth in the league and you can handle all the content. And because the content never changes, it becomes stale. As explained, all these other games, StarCraft, the battlefield changes, the way the guy moves his units, the way he attacks you, flanks you, drops medivacs, it changes and you have to react. In PoE, you're never really reacting, are you? In my opinion. And again, feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. Generally, how it goes in PoE is you're playing absolutely fine, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then suddenly, boom, one shot, and you just couldn't stop it. You've opened a breach, you've been instantly swarmed and killed. Again, that's happened to me, you've seen the RIP video. And you can't really outplay it. The only outplay potential you've got is you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, press your pots, try get out of the situation, or you press a button on your mouse that's a logout macro, which in my opinion is cheating. But people, again, will argue the point that it's not cheating. So I just wanted to make this video because I really enjoy Path of Exile as an RNG story game, right? People might say, RNG story game. For me, you're in Vegas, right? You're pulling those one-arm bandits, you know, you're chucking it, you're putting it all on black, you're rolling the dice and you're gambling and you're having good fun, right? Then, if that's not fun, you build a new character, you start a progression and you experience a progression with the character. But for me, mechanical skill doesn't come into it. So there's a chunk of the game missing for me that stops me continuing to play for months and months, because that is something personally that needs to like satisfy my need to play games. It has to be mechanical. I have to do a sick outplay. I have to be able to read a monster and counter it completely and shut it down and be like, wow, that was sick. Right? Like in League, if you read someone's mind and you counter him and you blow him up, you're thinking, yes, you know, that was good, that felt good. But in this game, there doesn't seem to be that map that you think, holy shit, the monsters are really coming at you today. They're really like, they're moving in swarms of packs. They're trying to, in this map, they're trying to surround you, right? Imagine the monsters, instead of saying monsters do 25% more fire damage, monsters resist 60% fire damage, imagine the map mods were like, monsters encroach you, and the whole map is trying to swarm around you. Monsters gain speed, and they're always trying to run at you. Monsters gain increased agility, and they're like leaping at you, right? They're leaping at you more. If map mods existed like that, for me, I would play the game more, because it changes the way I think about the game and the way I approach a map. Whereas right now, when I look at Path of Exile in my toolbar, I think it's not really getting me up here. I'm not thinking, yeah, I want to play it, because I've done all the journeys on the characters I want, and what's left is basically a grind. There is no mechanical skill. Of course there is, right? Of course people play bad. Of course I play bad. People mess up. But on the scale of other games, it's not really up there. And I wanted to make that video to sort of explain why you've seen other games on the channel. And also, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel? Do you feel that it lets you down mechanically? Or are you fine? Do you think it is a hard game? For me, the hard part of Path of Exile is the knowledge needed, and not so much the skill required to play. But maybe it's different for you. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for all the support on the videos, the feedback and the likes and all that good stuff. We've had a great couple of months. Daily videos now for about quite a long time. Hopefully you're appreciating them. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.